Are you saying my baby is gonna die?
If your abductor isn't the father, then who could it be?
Who do you think?
Ronnie, this is your dad.
Oh, this dad?
You still want a paternity test?
I don't need one. If she say he's mine, he's mine.
We're just taking a little break.
I ain't snitching.
Then you're going to jail. A deal is a deal. You need to make sure someone is protecting you.
What's up, people? Welcome back to Teller Made Incorporated. We're back with another Shy recap. We're moving right along in season 6. This is episode 13, titled The Legacy. I've seen a lot of people who said they didn't like last episode, what was episode 12. But if you were paying attention, last episode was the setup for this episode, which is episode 13. So let's get into it. We left off last episode with, Trig being arrested for Q's murder and Keyshia trying to find out what's wrong with baby Ronnie as she tracked down his medical history, his father's medical history. She was trying to track down his father's medical history. Douda was rounding up the troops and Bakari started writing his book. Papa started to become intrigued with Pastor Ezekiel, and Shad is starting his new job as Alicia's assistant, I guess, or head of security is what they titled it. And we ended last episode off with a mysterious death threat that was sent to Douda. So I've seen a lot of people, once again, I've seen a lot of people saying they didn't like the episode, but I thought last episode was good, and it was a great setup for this episode. So the episode starts off with Trig and Alonzo at his bail hearing, which I don't think is like a normal option for a murder charge, but we're going to proceed, people. This is still TV. So Jake posted his bail. We know Jake is slinging clothes, but where is he getting this amount of cash from to post the bail for an attempted murder charge? But anyway, we'll get into that later. So the judge released him on house arrest, and Trig was free, but now fighting this murder charge. Now back at the doctor's office, Keyshia and baby Ronnie were trying to figure out. She said he was still crying. He's still cranky. What's wrong with him? So Keyshia learns that baby Ronnie has the sickle cell disease. So she immediately started freaking out, as any other normal mother would, or a parent at this point. She was assuming this is automatically a death sentence. But if you do your research and you gather your information, it'll be extremely challenging, but if you take the necessary precautions, let me speak to the black people real quick, meaning taking proper care of yourself. I know we hate that, but it's important, people. You can live a long life with the sickle cell disease, man. As we see, like TLC, T-Boz, and Prodigy passed away, but he lived a long life considering his lifestyle. So the doctor informed Keyshia that it's extremely imperative that they get the father's medical history so they know how to proceed with treatment and or medications for baby Ronnie. All right. Then we turn to Douda. It's the morning of his birthday. Bianca is there trying to surprise him in some nice and nasty lingerie. Shout out to Bianca. She looked it all right. Shout out to you, Jill Marie Jones. But he turned her down, saying he was stressed and he wanted to be alone. Now, do y'all think this is stress over that death note that he received? Or do y'all think this is an after effect of Tiff telling Douda that their relationship, meaning Douda and Bianca, is just transactional. What do y'all think? Anyway, happy birthday, Douda. Okay, now Trig is being released on house arrest, and Shy and Jake was there to pick him up. We see Shy driving a brand new truck. We see this new job as head of security has its own incentives. I see you driving a big boy truck. I see you, Shy. But anyway, Trig asked Jake where he got the bail money from. And Jake said somebody randomly dropped off a bag of money on his doorstep. And Trig is like, so we just taking money from anybody at this point? And Jake says, my nigga, you out, ain't you? That is the objective. We want you out of jail. So that's all that matters, is that you're out, not where the money comes from. Maybe not. But we all know where that money came from. We know it's Douda. But we'll get back to that later too. All right, now we transition again. Guess who's back, people? Guess who's back? All right, but with her first appearance this season, it's Candy, or Miss Burris if you're nasty, as we know her in the Shy as Rosalind, Douda's openly fluent wife, meaning she's down for a little bit of voyeurism and or smashing anybody. They have an open relationship, I guess. So she's fluent. She strolled in the Smokies, scope out the scene. If y'all don't know, Smokies is a front for Douda's business or illegal business where they use Smokies as a front to laundry money. So when she first walks in, she meets Emmett's brother, Darius, who, we just met Darius, and now he's the front for Smokies, but let's go. It's Emmett's brother. So she has a conversation with Emmett about sprucing up the place to boost business. Before we get into all of that, why was Emmett wearing a pink suit? Is this casino, or what are we trying to portray here? But anyway, she started mingling with the employees. Dom, aka Lala. I thought we was rid of Lala, but unfortunately we're not, as she just made an appearance. But proceed. So we got to see my boy Evict, aka Jamal. I'm glad that he's getting some cameo time at least. So shout out to Vic Mensa. All right, but as Rosalind is casing the place, offering suggestions and shit, so they can bring in more customers, she started taking a liking to one of the other employees, which turns out to be Dom's cousin, Serena. So Serena was the weird-looking deaf chick. Before y'all even go there, I'm not saying she's weird because she was deaf. I'm saying she just looked weird. I'm not mad at the blue hair, but the stud look is a little, to each his own, I guess. To each his own. But anyway, she started taking a look, liking to Serena. So as we saw at the end of the episode, she smashed, or at least took Serena for a ride. But I think this is a one and done. We don't need to see a storyline with her and Serena. But now we go to Papa and his best friend, Pastor Zeke. As the pastor is listening to Papa's Pulpit, which is Papa's free podcast. He's trying to convince Papa that you can't be giving out this free game for free, even if it is blessings from God. Things that should be free. Not even blessings. So he's telling Papa that he should make people pay him, and then he'll be able to pay God. That was wild to me, because I was like, how do you pay God with the cash that people are giving to you for your podcast? Where do you send your donation to God to? It's one thing to be a pastor, or for a church example, Yes, they have bills and certain lifestyles that they want to be provided for, but to be Bentley driving while your congregation gives you their last hard-earned money, and they're struggling and barely making do, that's a little wild past their butt. I guess they don't care. Now, what would a shy episode be without another tranny breaking up and leaving Trig for being Trig? That's outrageous, in my opinion, but let's break this down. Trig accepted her. Trig claimed her. Trig paraded her to the world when she wanted those things. He never cheated. He never not owned up to who he was. And she still left him. Wow. Yeah, I think I hate it here, man. Like, we can't win for losing. But let's proceed. Now, Bakari goes to visit Professor Gardner to show him his progress on how he's been writing his book. And the professor gifts him with a laptop. So he's trying to show Bakari that he has bigger options than the street life. So the key to this whole scene is the sentiment that he spoke to Bakari while giving him this gift. He told Bakari this: always, the laptop will always listen to you, and it will remember everything you said. So you should protect this laptop with your life. Bakari, did you hear and comprehend the message? Because you're going to have to answer to that later on. Now I'm back at Smokey's. Emmett's brother, who's supposedly a financial whiz or a geek, whatever terms they want to use. He informs Emmett that the books look a little crazy. It's way too much unaccounted money coming in. He tells Emmett, don't be dumb. This is business. It's sort of like a marriage in a sense. If they come a knocking, you're going to be the one to take the fall. Now, I don't know if he's supposed to be the bigger brother or the little brother, but it seems like he was a little bit talking down to Emmett. But he asked Emmett for a meeting with Douda, which is a little wild to me too, because even though Darius might have his mind in the right place, Emmett, as the more seasoned brother, is that not placing him in harm's way? I don't think that's a good example of being a big brother, or we don't know if Emmett's the bigger brother, or we don't even know at this point. But we'll see about that later as well. Meanwhile, Douda pays Trig a visit at his crib to make sure, after he bailed him out, that he didn't snitch. So, as predicted earlier, we find out here that Douda is indeed the one who gave Jake the money to bail out Trig. And if you're on the hook, if you're the one that actually did the crime, of course you would do that because you don't want him to snitch. But at this point, unless Douda gets killed, snitching may be Trig's only option. So Trig is just like, I hope all this works out. Let's just leave it up to hope. That's what they always say. Let's pray on it. That's what they say. Let's pray on it. All right. Now remember, first we had the blended family with Emmett and Keyshia and Tiff and Rob and all the kids. Then we had the extended family, which was, who was the part of the extended family? I don't know. Y'all have to remind me. But for this episode, we're going to say, let's jump to a term of adopted family. So as for no reason whatsoever, Gemma, her father, and the girlfriend were taking family photos. Once again, if it wasn't for the purpose that actually she's mad about later. What was the initial purpose? Would anybody know? Do you just randomly do family photo shoots for no reason? That would be my question. But before we get into them, Papa has another conversation with the pastor where he learns that the pastor actually started out in the streets. And then he traded street hustling for Bible hustling. So here Papa gets a new mentor / father figure, and the pastor gets an adopted son right in front of our eyes. So that is the adopted family. Now I'm back at the doctor's office. Keyshia has the baby, and we find out, dun dun dun, the rapist boy is not Ronnie's father. You are not the father.
When it comes to 8-month-old Brian, you are not.
What a plot twist. Hence the title of this episode, Legacy. Because legacy is built around your family. Now, Keyshia is befuddled as to, well, if he's not the father, then how, who, what, who is the father? As the doctor tells her that both parents have to have the sickle cell gene in order to pass it on to the child. That's how it was proven that or the rapist boy was not the baby Ronnie's father. So now, once again, who is the daddy? Let's see. It's not the rapist boy. It's not Emmett. Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute. As the camera brilliantly pans to none other than Nuck If You Buck. Y'all might not know that song either. Nuck If You Buck, though. So the camera pans to Nuck at Douda's birthday party, or should we call this a gathering? I guess we'll call it a gathering of the delinquents. So the crew is all together, and Nuck is proposing a toast to Douda, saying,
Raise our glasses, to the man that runs the shop.
And the foot on her neck.
to the man that runs Chicago and keeps money in our pockets. I guess. In the shadows, though, we hear somebody quietly mumble under their breath, or not so quietly. Yeah, he does, but he also keeps a foot on our necks. And once again, the camera pans. Who said that? Bakari. Now, why, Bakari? Why? Even though that's true, even if you felt that way, why would you say that right in here, right now, in front of all these people? And specifically where Douda can hear you when you know he's thrown off. Now, remember the message earlier from Professor Gardner where he said, protect the laptop with your life. Now, why would Bakari have the laptop with him and out around Douda's crazy ass when Douda knows he's writing a book? This just didn't make sense, but it didn't make sense, but it made sense at the same time. So Douda took the laptop and smashed it to the floor. What you gonna do, Bakari? I mean, at this point, you gotta kill this nigga. I don't care. I'm sorry. You gotta kill this nigga because that was just dumb. Just to have the laptop there at that point in time and to say what you said at this point in time, it just screams stupidity. Young and dumb. That's all. So, let's get back to this training situation. I just got one question. As she abruptly left Trig and went back home, I guess, to the rest of the training population or family, Why are you crying? When you chose this man, you chose to leave him. Now why are you crying? I can't do. Like, pick a side. Pick a side. You want to be with them or not? And as we go back to back to Trig's crib. Alonzo is there, letting him know that the cops, they have an offer on the table where if he snitches on Douda, they'll protect him and they'll let him keep his councilman's job. And Trig says, no, I'm not a snitch. I'm not going to snitch. And Alonzo says, well, if you don't, you're going to jail. So that's your only options, either to snitch or go to jail. And this is a tough situation here. Are y'all snitching? Let me know in the comments. Would you snitch if you was Trig? Tough situation. One of my favorite scenes in the episode, let me say, the whole scene with Alicia, Shad, and Alonzo. Toxicity at its finest. Not that the jacket Alicia gave Shad was Alonzo's. That's hilarious, first and foremost. Not that she was flirting and kissing and fronting right in front of the bull like he wasn't there. That was over the top. And the main point in this was her saying to Shad after Alonzo left, after she said in front of him, oh, you don't want to see me? Shad is questioning her like, what the fuck was all of that? And then she turns, she said, he's like, are you trying to like make me be him? And she says to him, you can never be him. Now she's really playing in his face. Ladies, you know I love y'all. These are the moments. I'm not for domestic violence, but if ever a time, I don't know if ever a time. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. As Shad grips her up and pushes her against the wall, she kind of smirks. And she liked that shit. She's turned on by this aggression. No, this is toxic. Aggression can be used correctly, you know, if it's managed right. I know the ladies, you know, sometimes they like a little aggression. They like to be manhandled in certain forms of fashion, not violently. But this isn't the time. Not with what we just saw. Not with the jealous angle. That's dangerous. That's dangerous and hugely toxic. Poor Shad. This is going to be a bumpy ride. He don't even know what he's gotten himself into. But back to Alonzo, man. Alonzo leaves the crib. Alonzo sees Douda in traffic. Is this a coincidence or by happenstance, or is this written this way? He just happened to see Douda in the streets driving by. Okay. So Alonzo jumps out the window and he tells Douda basically a threat without being threatening, saying to stay away from my family. Even though I don't live there, I'm still the man to protect them, X, Y, and Z. What did he think he was going to accomplish? With a nigga like Douda, or just any man, period, but especially a nigga like Douda, some street nigga shit. Don't address a nigga like that unless you're ready to go all the way there, right then and there, at that moment. And even if you want to do anything like that, don't talk about it, just bust a move. Because these kind of niggas, they looking for any reason to go there. And you gave him a reason. Alonzo basically hung himself. And then that's what ended up happening. Alonzo got in his car thinking everything was cute, and somebody was in his backseat pocket. R.I.P. Alonzo, a.k.a. Leon. He was here for basically 2.5 episodes. So, to me, it looked like Zay was the shooter. I'm not 100% sure. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that was Zay who took Alonzo out? We'll see. All right, next we have the most important sequence of the episode. It was a lot in this episode, so we're going to get into it, man. The most important sequence of this episode was when Keyshia is telling Emmett that Nuck is probably baby Ronnie's father. Emmett loses his marbles.
I'm not doing this.
You don't have a choice.
Boy, oh boy, it is now smoke in the city. Emmett was already on edge about Nuck. He's already insecure about that situation. We already seen Keyshia sneak out and have a conversation with Nuck before. But we thought we had a handle on this situation, as she told Nuck we couldn't be friends anymore. But now, since he's the father, this is going to test Emmett and Keisha's bond like never before. So, Emmett starts off, hugely hypocritical, saying, I'm not dealing with this. And Keisha's like, you don't have no fucking choice. It's like, whoa. That's a lot. But Nuck came by. He gave the kid a gift. He gave Keyshia a gift. That's a lot. Emmett can't really be judgmental given all his situation with Tiff, and he bought Tiff a car. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Now, is Emmett going to be able to rile himself in and not get emotional because of Keyshia having to talk to Nuck or Nuck being in the baby's life? And is Keyshia going to get caught up in the doctor visits? Is Nuck going to be at the doctor visit? Is she going to be sneaking and doing family things? It's a lot. But I'm over Keyshia and Emmett as a couple anyway, so I would be happy if Keyshia left and go with Nuck. Shout out to my man Emmett, man. He don't deserve this. You don't deserve this. Emmett was wilding for a long time, but you don't deserve Keisha's nonsense. But let's wrap this up. It was a long episode. A lot of things were in it. My footnotes for this episode is after that little meeting between Darius and Douda, I think Darius is either going to end up working with them, helping them, or he's going to figure out a way to go against Douda and hide certain things. So, got to pay attention to that. We also got to pay attention to Papa as he lost his foundation. He's not as grounded in the greater good, I would say. Now it's going to be a money thing. So we can call him Pastor Zeke Jr. And he had no idea that Pastor Zeke was tied in with Douda and washing money for Douda as well. So he basically replaced Papa's dad because Papa's dad didn't want to do it anymore. So now he's the front as a church for laundering Douda's money. He made a almost fatal mistake as well, approaching Douda for more money. And Douda gripped him up and calmed his little pipsqueak pipe down. Calmed his little ass right down. Now be careful, little pastor, because greed kills people. Literally. Now back to these family photos, man. Gemma's dad basically brought this whole situation on himself. Like, when the photo shoot was presented, I would have been like, well, why you want to take pictures? Like, what's the point of this? What we using the pictures for? Like we not married, or like I know where it's a together thing, but we're not there yet. I mean, if we're there, then we're there. If we're not there, then we're not there. This is a conversation, but I don't allow people to take regular pics of me, like not even regular pics on your cell phone, because what you doing that for? Especially if I don't fuck with you like that. I don't like people just seeing me in pictures like, yeah, I know, but no, you don't know, but. But these are the conversations or non-conversations that be mind-boggling to me, because either you have the conversation of where we are in our relationship or you don't. And when you don't, when these things come up, they become issues. Okay, I'm glad that they did check Gemma's dad at the men's circle, though. Shout out to the men's circle. That is a good, thing that they do. These safe places for men to talk and vent and get out their emotions. We need, things like this. It's a good thing that they did put this in the show, because this would be a good thing if men actually did this in real life. It's not happening, but it's a great idea. But anyway, my favorite part of this episode. Shout out to my young boy, Jake. I see you, boy. Jake is the real MVP, man. He put Pagari on to the fact that it's probably his sister that domed him out, that backdoored him to Douda, and told Douda what was going on. And he checked Gemma's bald-headed ass again, telling her, when I'm with you, I'm with you. And when I'm with her, I'm with her. I don't think about or intertwingle or mingle the two. It's not a thought process, man. Like you said, it was beautiful. When I'm with you, I'm with you. When I'm with her, I'm with her. Y'all should take notes on that. That was great. Shout out to Jake. You're the real MVP. All right, let's wrap this up. I gave this episode an 8 out of 10. A great episode. Coming off last episode, yeah, I think this was a great episode. Probably, I thought last episode was the best, but this was the best episode so far. I guess they're going up, so it's trending upward. Now, this episode was about, well, I would say they reaching. They reaching with making Nuck the baby daddy. That's a reach to me, but I guess we got to do anything to make the storyline, go forward. Also, Alonzo tricked himself out of his own spot, and I can't wait to see how Bakari, or if Bakari checks his sister for telling Douda or doming him out. And what does Trig do now? He lost his lawyer. He lost his girl. He's stuck at home on house arrest. It's just a bad job for my man Trig, a.k.a. Victor, the councilman. It's a bad job, man. What you gonna do, man? The heat is on. You gonna snitch? You gonna take the fall? You gotta find a new lawyer. You lost your... Man, it's a lot. Poor Trig. He don't deserve this. Trig's a good guy, man. But that was The Shy. Episode 13, Season 6, Legacy. I'll see y'all back next week after episode 14. Y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. Deuces.